Time to get underway here for the third quarter. Fremantle Dockers by 9 points. I feel a close game. Could it be another draw, the fourth of the year, perhaps? Jared's going to have to sing that song if it is.
Not for that sake alone.
Pavlich with yet another clearance for his team. Bradley's done pretty well up forward as well, and here is Pavlich. An opportunity to put it to the top of the goal square. Main is one-on-one. Was he being held? He's got a free.
Dangerous spot. You go to the dangerous spots, defenders get nervous, they do dumb things like give away free kicks.
What about the start of Matthew Pavlich? Gets the first centre clearance, gets it going forward, then works down, gets the ball deep inside 50, creates another scoring opportunity for the Fremantle Dockers.
Do you think they're hard enough in their accountability on two genuine stars with the ball? We'll wait for this goal first.
Main for his third goal for Fremantle, and a very nice opening. They led it by 15 points.
I just see Lee Adams, who matches up on Monday, and yet he plays distant from him. And there you see Liam Anthony, just too far away from Pavlich. To me, Jono, they're not playing hard enough and tight enough at the stoppages.
Well, it's just here on the release around the centre bounce where they're going to have their own setup. So that's where Pavlich may get a bit of an advantage. But it's once the ball's released, it's then Pavlich outworking Adams and outworking Swallow and the guys in there. That's the advantage.
I wonder if they've got the luxury, though, of having their own setup at a centre bounce. When you've got a bloke like Sandland, surely you have to go man on man and basically concede the tap. And therefore, you get inside the personal space of the two really talented midfielders.
Here they go again. Pavlich will get the free. So here is yet another clearance for Matthew Pavlich and the Dockers.
I don't think they're at that level yet, John. I think they've got to basically just concede that they have to stop Pavlich and Mundy before they're worrying about their own ball.
Comes McPhee. Got both hands on it. Couldn't hold the mark. 5 for Rito. Fast hands. Brilliant. Advantage paid as well. Hanson up the ground for the Roos. Zeeble did well to push off his opponent on that occasion in Duffield. Sneaks one down the boundary line, and Harvey has had the 15 touches of the footy today. Brent Harvey high on the head of Edwards, but he's camped under it, and they get back and sandwich him up. Hanson did the front and centre work. Has Johnson under some Edwards pressure. Tackle didn't quite stick. Picked up by Thomas. Kicks it to the dangerous spot here for North Melbourne at the moment. Fremantle on the defence. Picked up again by Edwards. Went in with a little right foot banana off the side of the boot. Under enormous pressure, the Dockers' defence. Did well to keep it forward. Anthony onto Wells. Boot to Paul, missed.
That was much better from Anthony. Right on top of Mundy. Gave away the... well, this is bad news.
We've got a player down here, and it looks like it may well be Subin, is it? I think it is Subin with what appears to be an ankle injury. Or lower leg, certainly lower leg getting down to the ankle. The way the Doctors now... some people have asked, why are we holding up the play? Because the stretch is not on the ground. These days, Doctors can ask that the play be halted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Got the right ankle trapped under there, didn't he?
Yeah, there, you can see it there.
He's given that a nice old tweak. And may, in fact, be a break in that for Nick Subin. And the stretcher comes out. You would think the sub would already be warming up in Ibbotson.
Didn't look good at all, did it? On the replay, it looked more like a break than anything else.
Not good for a club that's already battling injury woes. Barlow a few weeks off, and a couple of others yet to come back. But you can see the sub, Garrick Ibbotson, warming up there. And this is not good news for the Fremantle Dockers. And a rather serious looking ankle injury. AFL doctors do a wonderful job. I think we have the best medicos in any sport in the world. And I mean the world, they are extremely well trained. And if you look at other sports around the world, they don't handle their patients as carefully as what we do.
Ibbotson's just come straight on, boys.
So the sub is activated, says Glenn Jakovic. Ibbotson comes on and replaces the outgoing Subin for the Dockers.
And Jared, you'd know more than us with injuries like this, with your background, but the way they're actually holding his leg there probably does suggest that there could be a break.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all.
Yep, that is not good. In fact, the ankle was in the reverse shape of where it should have been from that trap. And you're right, Brad Johnson, the way they're holding it, it means that it's not holding itself. So that is a certain broken leg or broken ankle. You can see the foot is actually pointing in the opposite direction to where it should be. So that is a sad end. And he's not daring take a look at what's happening there at the moment. Very disturbing finish for him as that ambulance just ekes its way off. Every movement not good, and it'll be the season for him.
Well, you would just assume that that's the case. I mean, it's we'll get the final diagnosis from Jacko when he is able to.
It's horrible.
Get the information, but it's a really unfortunate set of circumstances for Subin and his club.
And while that's happening, boys, David Mundy's on the bench here. He's getting his right ankle restrapped.
Yes, very, very disturbing there for the Fremantle Dockers and football supporters, I think, to see these serious injuries. 2 of them yesterday at the G, another one here today, and we are without 3 players maybe for the rest of the year. Play goes on, and the Dockers lead it by 14 points off hands. Crashing in once again is Fife, and now Hill with a bit of open space. Got it to Ballantyne. Hill runs forward, he looks for running support from behind, and he's got it. So the Dockers, just the kick was not what it should have been to Keckler Bradley from Ibbotson, who's fresh on the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't his best kick, Ibbotson, but once again, he's going to need 4 or 5, 10 minutes to pick up the tempo of the game and get rid of some nerves.
Look at the stoppage work from this man here, Pavlich. That wasn't kicked to the advantage of McPhee, who was heading up the middle of the ground, so he's done well to get back and get first hand on it.
He's building a pretty awesome quarter, though, at this stage. It's only been going about 4 minutes this quarter, and Pavlich has just been totally dominant in and around stoppages.
And he's here again at this stoppage. Pavlich lurking dangerously at the back. Opportunity now for Bradley. There he is. Pavlich, can he unload from 50? The standing start, he just didn't have enough time to quite get set.
That was his 6th disposal. 4 contested possessions, 3 clearances, and 3 inside 50s. That should have been a goal.
Goodness gracious me. He's on fire, the Pav.
The lockdown has to come.
So Wright's with him at the moment.
And Jared, for the Kangaroos, they really need to get Drew Petrie to the game. He's only had the 5 possessions. He's had 13 hit-outs, but he needs to work himself into the game if they're a chance to win here.
Where would you like to see him play, Jacko? Come back to you in a moment. Here's the handball from Sandilands to Pavlich. Pavlich on the run from 35, sprayed it. Getting back to Petrie. Where would you like to see him
Well,
play?
just go toe-to-toe with Aaron Sandilands, because Aaron Sandilands going where the ball is, track the ball and get yourself into the game, become a ruck rover.
There he is, the man in question.
Well, he's pushed right up the ground now, Jacko, because McFarlane is sitting way back on his own.
Just his 2nd game of the year, Petrie. 5 flies, and he's an aerialist. There's no doubt about that. Lovely kick to Pavlich, who is igniting the Dockers here at the moment. The crowd are willing to go. He winds up with a big drop punt. He's got it airborne. He didn't get every bit of it. Main flies, couldn't get it over the back. An opportunity picked around the corner on the left, across the face. It's out of bounds in the full.
Well, this is his great strength, Fife. He has got an enormous leap, and he seems to take the ball at its highest point much better than most players, Jono. He's got a tremendous talent in that area, a bit like a Justin Westhoff, so important last night for Port Adelaide.
Grimer kicks to Zeeble, nudged beautifully under the ball by Duffield without offending. The umpire's gone flat on his back to the left. I'm not sure what he was doing. An opportunity now for Thomas. He was going to give it to Wells, and then he saw the player in between and half pulled the handball. Crowley now to Pitt. Pitt with the kick back inboard. It was hopeful. Harvey did well. Ferrito back to Harvey. Now on the counter-attack. Here's a beautiful lead from Edwards. Kick needs to be good. It is. Too far out to score. Thomas wants it out wide, and that's where he goes. Good-looking ball. Great hands by Thomas.
Well, that's much better from the Kangaroos. Good foot skills, and they went straight down the middle of the ground trying to expose the Dockers who'd been sucked up the ground. It still required a pretty good mark from Thomas, and he delivered.
It was a great kick. You see Thomas, during play, he just pointed back that way, ran to the square, and just a great kick by Edwards to put it out in space for his forward to run onto.
Hasn't got a goal so far in this game. Has 6 for the year, so he's averaging 3 a game. Thomas comes in and kicked it across the face. So North Melbourne. Have a look at this for the umpire. Flat on his back. May have tripped over the play. They just caught the back of his heel.
BT, you mentioned Lindsay Tomlin's 6 goals for the year. 4 of them came round 1 against West Coast, so he's been starved the last couple of weeks. I know that he's had the bye, but he needs to get himself on the score sheet.
He does. Needs to make ones like that count. Back in from Duffield. The target is Sandilands, and there's the double duker.
Well, he's taken the last 2, and that was the level you said he needed to get to in the first half, Jared.
Aaron Sandilands goes safely down the line. Ballantyne, the target. Adams in there. Hill was wrapped up before he could get the motor going. So careful is the way I would describe the Roos right here at this moment. And Hill's come off and he's injured here.
I think it's just cramp. He was trying to stretch out some cramp, BT.
Okay. Let's hope so. Here's Wright. Lovely handball by Wright to the run of Harvey. He tries the sucker handball inside, gets it back to Thomas, who really wasn't concentrating on the aerial opportunity, and his man took it away from him as a result.
Maybe trying to push Thomas up into the middle of the ground. I think Broughton's got his measure down there at the present time.
Sandilands again. Goldstein did really well defensively there with the punch.
Free him up, give him a run on the ball, get some footy and get some midfield work out of him.
I agree, and then he'll be nice and juiced up, ready for the last 15 minutes of the game, Jared.
Maybe rotate with Wells. Push Wells forward at times, get him up.
Opportunity for Grover. Ballantyne went without it. Goldstein was able to get the clearance out wide. Ibbotson just paddled it in front, hoped to control it. Went and got it right. Grover under pressure here. Ball ain't coming out of that. Jack Zeeble there, the meat in the sandwich. Round of 34,767 here today. Coolish day in Perth for the temperatures that have been around. De Boer to the middle. The kick was too heavy for Main, but he's got a race with Thompson. Thompson's just waiting for the troops to arrive. Sort of threw it out the back door. I'm not sure it was legal handball. The umpire said it was okay. And he did really well, Thompson, to hold the ball in momentarily.
It was a good battle, wasn't it?
It was a great battle. Both players did really well there to hold that ball up.
Just an update with Stephen Hill, boys. They were just working on his hip flexor, but he's getting a little bit of massage. He should be back on very soon.
Goldstein tap to Swallow was perfection. Grimer off the one step, distributes wide, and there is yet another opportunity for the Roos. Anthony wanting to get it into Richardson and back to Anthony. He was undecided and telegraphed what he was going to do with it, didn't he, Richardson?
He did. Great defence, though.
Yeah.
They worked in unison, Mundy and Pavlich.
Pavlich doing a great job, and look at him. I think they just wanted a little bit more here at the moment, the Fremantle Dockers. The urgency for the Dockers is right on the money at the moment.
Well, Cameron Richardson's now gone to Pavlich. We've got Anthony on Mundy, and that's a great block to get release Mundy. Didn't get the footy, but they worked well to release him.
Ferrito to the advantage of Petrie. It was a lovely kick. Petrie did well to hold his body, and boy, didn't they crack in there. Van Berlo was part of that as well, and Adams went without it. Robertson sees something in the middle. Unorthodox little flipper type kick out the back door. Got it to Pitt. He hammers it long. Here comes Kepler Bradley, 4 deep over the top. Here's the little sneaky one. Ballantyne, will they pay advantage? No, it goes the other way. Free kick, Grimer.
Can touch the footy. Realistic attempt. Go back.
It's like Kevin Bartlett, Hayden Ballantyne. He is at every front and centre opportunity there is.
There's plenty of them.
Gives himself a real chance.
Here's an opportunity for the Kangas.
Dockers collide. Kick goes forward. Edwards couldn't hang on to it in the hands, and Broughton did well. Got it back to Grover.
He's a genuine success story, Greg Broughton. From where he's come from to how good a defender he is now, it's a really good story.
Ibbetson's second kick didn't hit the target again, and this allowed North to swoop here. Thompson ducks under the main tackle. Here's Harvey. Little one over the top, drawing the opportunity and right to the ball. He takes the mark, plays on. Kick was ordinary. And he has been trying to dish out the handballs. Has Zeeble trying to break the tackle to Edwards. Pavlich comes in, misses with the hip and shoulder. Perhaps the tackle. Kick is a goal. Pavlich not happy with himself. Edward kicks a goal.
Well, it was a critical error because he went the man and he didn't go the ball as well. Could have done both and killed it. But he went straight past, trying to have the big block. And that's a poor mistake from an experienced player. Cost the goal, and they continue to hang on here, Jono.
They certainly do, and you look here, I think he was actually probably aiming for Petrie in the goal scorer by himself. But the tackle on the kick actually pushed it through the goal, but they're taking their opportunities when they come.
Aaron Edwards gets his first goal this afternoon, and it brings the Roos back within 9 points here, midway through the third quarter. Against the flow when Fremantle have owned the first 7 or 8 minutes. McMahon. Pitt's got some space here. Can he handle it cleanly? Rawlings did well.
Kick 5 of the last 8 goals, the Kangaroos.
Let's go down to Glenn Jakovich on the boundary.
Boys, very sad news. Nick Suitman's on his way to the hospital. The doctors have confirmed a broken fibula.
Broken fibula just above the ankle. Not great.
But not bad.
Okay, we'll find out why in a moment. The next stoppage in play from our resident physio. Here is Drew Petrie, Thomas, some fancy footwork, perhaps the pickup. There may have been on after the footwork. Why do you say that, Jared?
Well, I think we could see that he wasn't in as much pain as you'd expect for a tibia. I mean, he wasn't screaming, and he knew that he'd broken something. The fibula is the bone runs down the outside of your leg. It's non-weight bearing.
Oh, the smaller one.
Smaller one.
Okay.
And he may well be back in, depending on how, if it's spiral fracture or all those little intricacies, he may well be back in 6 weeks. So it's a win, because it did look as if it was if that had been a really bad break, then we know his season is gone.
Opportunity here for Swallow. They're on the press here at the moment, the Kangaroos. A driving ball. Johnson's got it all to do and did the right defensive thing.
You're right, BT. They are on the press at the moment. They just need to really capitalise in the next couple of minutes and get this game back nearly to level.
Roberton. Little chip outside his Fife with a lot of space. Main just rubs his hands in anticipation. Look at Palmer over the top. He's got a clean ball. Now does he take him on? Here comes Thompson. Palmer's got the angle to deal with. And in the end, got nothing.
Did that come off the umpire?
It come off the umpire or the post, but it spun unusually. Let's have a look. He had the angle. That's come off the umpire's foot.
He should have handballed into the goal square. Ballantyne was running into the goal square all by himself. Would have been an easy goal for the Dockers.
Don't know what the ruling is there with the umpire's foot coming into play.
Well, it's cost them a point for starters.
Yep.
Because it would definitely have scored. And it has ricocheted off the... He's had an interesting afternoon, that umpire.
He has indeed. That one may well affect the game. And play on here as Ballantyne kicks the goal. Fremantle escape.
And lucky he kicked it too, took the advantage. And if he had missed it, I'm tipping Mark Harvey would have been pulling his hair out up in the coach's box, because players now, it's their responsibility when they do take advantage that they finish the work. Otherwise, it'll go totally against them.
This one was one of those ones, I think, that has been highlighted as a problem for the rule, though. The whistle and the necessity to kick the ball was so close, you haven't almost got time to make a conscious decision.
Hayden Ballantyne has tidied things up for the Dockers in a quarter that they've basically owned other than the last few minutes, and he kicked his third goal. Back to a 14-point Fremantle Docker lead. Biggest margin of the day was 21 points for Fremantle early in the second quarter. Other than that, she's been pretty tight most of the day. Bradley, good hands. Fife has got options left and right. He went Hill, which is the way to go. Look at the low ball from Hill. A little too low for Palmer. Here's the nippy one, Ballantyne. The little spinning red Perrott out of trouble. Magical use of the ball out wide. Can Duffield collect? Aim. Spot up. 30 metres. Ballantyne did a great job. The missed opportunity by Duffield. Boy, this man here. It's like he's on spinach.
Popeye.
Have a look at him.
And great vision too to finish.
It was good vision as he was falling away. So the North Melbourne defence under enormous pressure at the moment. Can they crack them open? Swallow. Because this game is yet to open up. Richardson. Crowd say it all.
Has to come off his foot.
On the fall, the kick goes forward. Mundy and Grimer battle for it. Risky inboard ball. Got out of trouble, Anthony. Cunnington. Adams to Thomas, and there he is up in that midfield now. Thomas, chiselling ball. Great kick. Edwards got to mark that. Let it go on the end. The kick could not have been any better. Goldstein off the ground, and they'll lock it at their forward end and relieve some pressure momentarily.
The impressive thing with, here we go here, and Thomas's kick, but the impressive thing with Grover and McFarlane is they give their forwards just no space, so the pressure's always there when they're trying to take tough grabs like that.
Over the back knock. Picked up in the end by Richardson. Shook off one tackle, gave it inboard. Thomas on the right foot this time, had a shot and missed to the left.
Well, Pitt, who's had plenty of the foot, he just came inboard there with a sloppy handball which exposed the Dockers. Weren't able to take advantage of it.
Looking a little tired at the moment, the Dockers. They've spent so much energy in the opening sort of 15 or 16 minutes of this quarter, and they're just looking a little fatigued here at the moment. What have they got to finish the quarter off? 8 minutes remain in it. The kick from Duffield wasn't great. It gave Richardson a chance. Opportunity, Bradley out the back, got running support in Fife, missed him. What do you think, Glenn Jakovic? Fremantle looking a little out on their feet at the moment or not?
Well, it's just a good arm wrestle. The Kangaroos know they're not going to leave anything to chance because they've had the bye, so they're just running it out and staying with Fremantle. Questions being asked.
Rawlings. Adams, who was happy for the boundary line then and put his head down. Anthony was met front on, but he ducked into it.
It's a free kick. It's a
and
free
Hill
kick.
has hurt himself as a result.
Wait. Just wait.
Let's hear what the umpire says. Looks like he got a corky on the knee.
I think it's his knee here, clips him right on the head.
And Hill feeling the effects. Anthony will take a spell as well. Over the top went Kepler-Bradley. Interesting passage of play there. And umpire Dean Margett says that'll be a Fremantle free.
He dragged it in. It's like play on.
Dragged it in, no attempt to knock it out. Pavlich goes for the open-up kick on the outside. Got to go, Grover. Did really well, the smaller-bodied Harvey then, to just draw the contest. And that's a great effort for North because Fremantle were out if that came off.
That's a big win for the Kangaroos, that. Great work by their skipper to create that contest there when he was outnumbered.
Here's another look at Hill, and there's contact with the left knee, I reckon.
That's what we were talking about earlier, though. He left his head down for a long time
Even dropped
there.
it lower.
Swallow's hurt as well for the Roos as he takes a while to get up off the deck. And here's a nice old battle with Main here and Tarrant. Picked up by Ferrito. Handballed out in front. Main went and got it. He's got some support. Here's Mundy. Petrie got in, got rid of it in the nick of time. Harvey's got a better couple. Sandilands committed the body. Look at the pickup from Wells. No support at all, though. Van Berlo.
It's a great tackle. It was a brilliant pickup, but Crowley was good enough.
Swallow coming off in the bottom of your screen there. There's the Dockers in the meantime. Attempt to go forward. Looks to be running reasonably freely, Swallow, but Grimer and Thompson combined in the middle. Here's Petrie.
Starting to run from behind here, the Kangaroos. Just getting a sniff.
Taken off him by Wright. Wright kicks to a 2-on-1. Edwards knocked down. Here's Thomas. Almost with inches of getting away. Zeeble. Intelligent knock in front of Richardson. Perhaps just a little bit too much on it.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on it, BT. You're exactly right. You just need to tap it out with a bit more feel about it, and it would have gone right into the path of Richardson, who may have had an opportunity to score.
Make no mistake, this last 6 minutes of this quarter has real meaning in the overall context of this game. You can feel the intensity starting to lift. Adams clever. Got it out. Tackle on Atley.
And 50 metres. High tackle, Fremantle. 50 metres.
High tackle, 50. And the 50 metres is because they played on after the whistle. And so this will bring the Dockers just forward of the centre circle, I'd imagine.
Boy, Stephen Hill's just doing some run-throughs on the sideline here. He's very gingerly.
It was an unfortunate 50 because they were pressing hard, the Kangaroos.
They were. Van Berlo, up they fly. Went a little early, McPhee, in fact, very early. Thompson on the left. It was meant for Petrie. Now 5's marked on 50. Won't be beyond him here. This is the vortex flank. Stick it up in the air and it'll get trapped in the jet stream, Jared.
I've heard you say that a few times, BT.
Well,
comes off every now and again.
I'm learning this off Glenn Jakovic. Fife needs to get the ball elevated up quick. 55 metres out. Kick on the way. The journey's there. The accuracy is as well. Big time goal from Fife.
Well, you caught it. Got right up high into the vortex. Away it went.
Oh, yeah.
It was a super kick from outside 50. And Thompson tried to take a risk here by bringing the ball back into the middle to Petrie. Just couldn't execute that well on the left side of the body. And a great kick by Fife.
Gave it everything, didn't he? Rode it home. After the Roos were pressing, all of a sudden a goal to the Dockers to open it up to 20 points.
It was a huge free kick and then 50-metre penalty, wasn't it? It's just changed the whole feel, and it's going to be really a challenge now for the Kangaroos to ignore the obvious. They're now 20 points behind because they're not far away from having a genuine crack.
Cunnington did well. Needed to find a little harder there, Atley. Fife to Mundy. Cunnington on the chase. Well done, Cunnington. Put the ball on the ground. Surely should be, and it is. Correct decision.
And Stephen Hill back on, boys.
Let's have a look. There's an opportunity. Goes to ground. Too slow.
To ground on the tackle. Here comes the ball in the Petrie direction. He's in front. Gives his forwards a chance. Edwards wouldn't get it done. Thomas. And a boundary throw in 60 metres out from the Roos attacking end. See the clock. 4 minutes, 12 seconds. Third quarter. Ask Brad Johnson in a moment when we get an opportunity. Any moves you want to make at the moment, Brad? As the ball is tied up to try and help North Melbourne here, or you're happy with the setup as it is?
The setup is actually quite good. They're getting enough ball inside forward 50. They've had 12 opportunities this quarter. They just need to nail those opportunities when they come. I like Jared's call of getting Thomas up. He's had 3 or 4 possessions across the midfield. Like to see Wells now come back up and play on ball as well.
If one of Hanson, Petrie, and I think there's another tall forward, Edwards, if one of them can take a mark inside 50.
It'll make a big difference without question, because the stats will show they're getting it inside, as Jono said, enough. They just haven't, and sometimes it's only been a couple of classic tackles. I think a couple of brought and individual efforts have robbed them of a couple of goals as well.
Just the 5 marks between those 3 that I mentioned. Mundy got it out to Pitt. McPhee hands it ground level. Probably not quite there. Thomas, Ballantyne, lined out one in the middle, and now he tracks it down and line out another one. Oh, McMahon was partially decapitated. Surely a free to the Roos. If they kick it, it's got to be 50.
High tackle to the Kangaroos first.
High tackle
to the Kangaroos.
To Lindsay here?
Yes.
Okay, no worries. Your free kick here.
So I just wonder why that wasn't 50 when it was at the other end.
Dockers haven't got onto it yet, BT.
No, they haven't. It's a North Melbourne free. Now everyone's forward of the ball. Have a look at this. The Roos are out. Go! Kick goes down the line. And now Thomas has cramp, and Ballantyne has sat him on his backside. He's got the cramp in the left calf. He was knocked over while he was attending to his cramp by Ballantyne. Nonchalantly. And now McMahon with the kick.
He's still calling for a trainer or someone to come and give him a...
Oh, I think the trainers are too scared to get too close to the play in case they infringe. McMahon goes wide to Petrie. He elevates, keeps it in front. Well done, Petrie. Gave it off to Ferrito. Hammers the ball long. Here's Zeeble. Won't get there. Over the line. Getting desperate for the Roos. 3 minutes in the quarter remaining. 20-point margin. You see Ballantyne top of screen, just sitting Thomas on the ground there. Fife. Thompson, Fife goes, got the runner out wide in Bradley. Have a look at this. There's 2 Dockers over the top. One of them, Mighty Mouse himself. Ballantyne, has he got clean hands? Nice bounce. He'll need to take another bounce. Goes all the way, and Ballantyne kicks the goal. 26-point lead for the Dockers.
Well, he's been the difference today so far. Especially up forward, he's been lively from the outset. And you look at his run here, and that's been the big highlight of his play all day. He's pushing up the ground and then working hard back.
Good kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great kick by Bradley. Into space, allowed him to run onto it, and deserves the spell as he comes off the ground.
Well, he can barely make it off the ground. That was a 100-metre run that started in the middle for Ballantyne. Mark Harvey says, give the boy a drink.
Point you made earlier, BT, I think emphasised there once again. The ball came in to Drew Petrie, wasn't able to grab the mark. He was well tracked by McFarlane, and that's what caused the turnover. Biggest margin of the game here now. As Wright goes inside to Zeeble. Ibbotson follows up, gets the rebound ball here now, Ibbotson. And they're ready to really crack this open, the Dockers. 2:14. Harvey's sending instructions out via the runner regarding the clock. So it'll be a safe play from Fife to Aaron Sandilands. McPhee, Miss Palmer on the handball, otherwise they would have been out again. And now Wells. That's a throw.
Little flick pass, wasn't it, to Ferrito? Got to go McMahon, did. Put the bulldozer front end nose up, and Van Berlo tidies up to Palmer. Gives it to the runner in Sandilands. Oh boy, he tried a bit of foot candy faking. Not your go, Aaron. Free kick, advantage paid. Van Berlo long, and Wells should mark, although Crowley's going to make him earn it. And Tarrant in the end is able to tidy it up with a 2-on-1. Boy, is this one lifted. Ordinary kick, though, lands in the waiting arms of Hill. He would be well advised to go back from the set shot. Now, he's run off the mark. That should be play on.
Stephen, come round.
That should have been play on. Gone off the mark by 4 metres.
Yeah, certainly wanted to
the umpire called time. I think that's why he got away with it at that point.
Well, he did eventually. Hill has no vortex here. So we'll have to give it absolutely everything he's got. It's online. It's a magnificent stroke. Hill has kicked the goal with a minute remaining.
It's a massive difference between the two sides. Just the polish and the class of the Fremantle Dockers has just risen every time they've been challenged. And I think to a man, Jono, when I look at all the one-on-one contests at the other end of the ground, the Kangaroos forwards have been beaten comprehensively in one-on-one battles by their opponents.
Certainly something they need to look at during the week is that pressure coming from behind, because they are getting their hands there first, they're getting them out, but they're not able to clunk them on the back of a good kick.
No clunks.
7 goal kickers in their 14 goals. The Fremantle Dockers, they've opened it up to 32, kicking the last 4 goals straight.
9-7 to 3-2 from set shots.
Wow. And the 4 goals have come from the 20-minute mark on in this quarter. So red time goals all the Dockers' way, and a clearance to their inspirational leader, Pavlich here.
That's his 12th disposal for the quarter, so you're right, BT. He's the one who set him alight from word go at the start of this third quarter.
Harvey and Siebel combining, although in the end Harvey had to do most of it. Swallow back out there, good to see. Here's Atley wanting to take them on, and the handball was more in hope than anything. Found Wells. Robertson tracking him down, is able to slip the tackle. Very cool, but couldn't finish, and Gerard just spoke of it. The class finish in the end, not there.
Great work by Robertson. Left his direct opponent. That's the difference between the two sides at the moment. He's got his job to do, but he leaves his direct opponent to put pressure on. Something the Kangaroos players have gone one-on-one all day and haven't helped each other out as much as they could.
See, this guy's been good. And now Mark Harvey's within 3 metres of where Pitt is at the moment. He said, you go back, take your kick, and you've got a couple of seconds left. Don't give it up.
They don't mind a skinny recruit, the Dockers.
Yeah.
Pitt hasn't got any muscle on him. And we know that Fife's still looking for his first muscle.
Have a look at that.
They can play, though.
Almost a 37-minute quarter. Fremantle lead by 32. Have the Roos got anything left? We're about to find out.